It's time for Rabbi Minkowicz's Weekly Torah Lesson, a place where life's most difficult questions are answered. Here with his spiritual perspective and insight, Rabbi Minkowicz.
Welcome to this week's Torah lesson. This week's Torah portion is Parshat Massei. The question of the week is, how can you make this world into God's home? So in this week's Torah portion, Parshat Massei, the Torah begins by telling us, Eila Masa b'nei Yisrael, these are the journeys of the Jewish people that they left Egypt. And the Torah lists 42 places that they journeyed through until they came to the land of Israel. So the Rebbe asks a simple question. When they left Egypt, they left. The next 41 journeys had nothing to do with Egypt. But nevertheless, the Torah connects every one of the 42 journeys that they made to leaving Egypt. It means every time they left a stop, even though it was out of Egypt, the Torah says, now they left Egypt. So the Rebbe asks the question, they left Egypt 20, 30, 41 stops ago. Why are you still associating them leaving to the land of Egypt? So the Rebbe explains a powerful insight, and he says, what is Egypt? True, it's a country, but what is Egypt for us? Egypt in Hebrew is Mitzrayim. Mitzrayim comes from Meitzar, a place of constraint and limitations. What does that mean practically? That means when a person is growing in life, you reach a plateau. Once you reach a plateau, that's it. Now you're in Egypt because you're not growing anymore. We are commanded by God to continue to grow. So every single time we reach a plateau, we have to recognize that we now, even though we achieve something, we are still in Egypt. We have to constantly go out of Egypt, constantly go to the next level. And if we constantly grow and constantly realize that now we're back in Egypt because we stopped growing, then we will be able to continue to grow the rest of our life. So to answer the question, how can we make this world into God's home, is by growing, but more importantly, when we do grow, to realize our new level of growth becomes our new Egypt. And we have to constantly grow out of there, and this way we will constantly be able to evolve and make this world a beautiful place. This week's lesson is dedicated to the memory of Eliyahu Ephraim ben Yosef and Rashi Bas Reb Chaim Meir Halevi. May their souls be elevated for the Torah that we're studying in their memory. Thanks so much for joining us for our weekly Torah lesson. Please join us for live classes at Chabad. Thursday morning, Nechamie gives a Parsha class at 11, and Shabbos morning, we have a class at 9 o'clock, followed by davening, followed by Kiddush Farbrengen. Shavua Tov, have a great week.
It's Steinomite.